Here we have the Gebirgsjäger, mountain troops or alpine troops. They fought in all the major battles in World War II from 1939 to 1945. They specialized in the high altitude mountains of Norway and other areas of Europe. A lot of them were ski Jägers. They'd have their ice axe with them and python hammer and climbing ropes, and a lot of times they took mules and horses with them up to certain levels. A lot of people didn't realize, but the mountain troops were also in North Africa in the early days, and there's photos of them wearing shorts in the desert. So they weren't just in the mountains, but they had some camo gear in Africa and canvas equipment, and a lot of them wore helmets, camo helmets, so they weren't just confined to the cold and snow.
Welcome back to Historic Investments and the May Ohio Gun Collectors Association display show. This is a very prestigious show, and we're very happy to have Wayne Noble here. Wayne's presenting just a fantastic display of G3340 rifles. They're super scarce and very sought after bolt-action rifles. Only 120,000 of them were made. But at this point, I think I'm stepping on Wayne's informational toes. So why don't I turn this over to Wayne, and he can give us a nice overview of the display. Wayne.
Well, why don't we take a look at this first rifle here. It's a 1940 945 code. It has the walnut stock. They have these protection plate on the side. Gebirgstruppe could use them for a walking stick when they're climbing up the mountains. This next one here is a .41. There's two codes, 945 and .. This 1941 carbine is kind of special. It has a two-piece stock. Has the finger joints right here. So they used up all the scrap wood. Some of them had three-piece stocks. They would be finger jointed up here, the forearm. The other interesting thing about these, they're a little different than the K98. The small parts aren't serial numbered.
But you said some of the parts are serial numbered, right?
There's three.
Just three serial numbers,
Three serial
right?
numbers on these only. On the bolt handle, on the receiver, and then the early ones had the serial number stamped in the stock at the rear. And there's a couple Waffenouts, one in the wrist, and there's three on the right side here by the butt plate. And then the rear sight's different than a K98. It only goes out to 1,000 meters. And then this handguard cover goes around the rear sight, and it snaps in place with a spring clip. So they're a little hard to get off. You have to be careful. Most of these guns, they'll have cracks in these covers. Guys abuse them. These are all solid. And here's a standard .41 with a solid stock. It's all matching. Another cool feature on all of these is the front sight hood. It's much smaller than a K98, and they're not interchangeable. And the cleaning rods are shorter. They're 10 3/4 inches long.
Over the years that you've been collecting, have a number of these been faked from 98Ks where people have shortened the stocks and changed things?
No, they can't fake them because there's too many subtle differences, mainly the handguard, the rear sight. The bolts, you can use a K98 bolt, but...
Now you mentioned that a number of these have been sporterized. What if you're a collector, you got a sporterized one and you want to bring it back? Then what do you do?
The best you can do is get the gun, hopefully the cleaning rod, the sight hood's on it, then you have to find a replacement stock which won't match the gun because they're all serial numbered, but you'll at least have a decent gun.
How close are the 98K stocks? And if you'd have one, and of course it wouldn't match the serial number, but would the action fit into it?
I don't think it would work because of this protection plate. There's cutouts here for this protection plate that fits behind the butt plate. Now the butt plates, I believe, could be the same on the K98.
With a cut butt plate like that?
Yes,
yeah.
With this protection plate.
Now, we didn't get a chance yet to talk about some of the late production guns. You said the very last ones are not numbered at all, right?
I have two.
There's no serial numbers on them, none on the receiver, none on the bolt, and none on the stock. So I think that's important for collectors to remember that even though the early ones have 3 serial numbers, the later ones are actually unnumbered.
Right. I have a pair of late war assembled or armory built guns. Now they're all matching because there's no serial numbers, and they're correct. The headspace is perfect. I haven't shot them, but I've checked them, and they would shoot. They're perfect functional condition. These two have phosphate receivers. Normally the serial number would be right here. Of course it's missing. The bolt's serial number, no serial number. This one is a 945 1941. Now from the research I've done, there's only 9 known that are functional. There's several out there that are bits and pieces. You'll see them with a missing forearm or missing cleaning rod. They're just parts guns, but these are complete, every piece. This one is a .42. This is the only one I've ever seen late war assembled in .42. Usually they're the 945 code.
Well, that's super. Hey, question. These also have got provision for a bayonet lug, so there is a standard bayonet lug, and are the bayonets ever numbered to the guns?
No, as far as I know, they weren't. I do have a bayonet. This is a .42 bayonet, which is correct for these two .42s. It would work on any of the guns, but yeah, it just slides and locks in place. But this one does have a serial number, but it is probably intended for a K98.
K98s, yeah.
But I've never seen a 1942 .K98. Now, there may be some out there, but there's
well, that's great. Wayne, listen, thank you very much. Really, this is a fantastic assortment of G3340s. How long did it take you to put this together?
I've been collecting the memorabilia for 10 to 12 years. When I was young, I'd done some climbing and rappelling, so I've always been interested in the memorabilia. I've always liked short-barreled rifles and carbines, and these fit in with my P38 collection because of my other interests. I've only been collecting these guns about 5 years.
And you know, you've also been a very long-time member here at OGCA. Has OGCA helped you with this collection? Either
Yes.
through contacts
Yes.
or your ability to add to your collection through this organization?
Yes, I couldn't have completed this collection by not being a member. I come to every show.
You want to say that again in case they missed that? You couldn't have completed it
I
without being a
cannot
member.
complete this collection if I wasn't a member.
There, did you guys hear that? All right, that was for the
Yeah.
record. Okay.
And I did pick up 3 of these here from friends that had a couple.
And just for next to nothing, right? They gave it to you just for attending OGCA.
I had to beg them.
Oh, okay.
I told them I'm going to display them, and they said, okay, just so you don't sell them.
But then they're taking them back after the display?
No, I
not
did
this time.
buy them.
I think I'm giving him a hard time right now.
That's okay.
So anyway,
That's
at this
okay.
point, I think we better close. Hey, listen, Wayne, thank you very much. We really appreciate it, and it's really wonderful to be at the display show. For all the OGCA directors, here's a call out to you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Lynn.